Can you believe that a sweet slice of papaya in the morning is the best way to start your day? Many of us, especially after turning 60, see papaya as a superfruit. Soft, easy to eat, packed with vitamin C, beta-carotene, folate, and fiber that supports digestion. In fact, every day, hundreds of millions of people around the world eat papaya, and most believe they're making a smart choice for their health. But the truth may surprise you. Papaya is not always harmless. Behind that golden orange skin and refreshing sweetness, this seemingly healthy fruit can hide silent risks few people expect. From allergies to the enzyme Papain, to interactions with blood-thinning medications, from digestive upsets caused by overeating, to unsafe habits of storing, washing, or cutting it, papaya can shift from being a healer to a troublemaker for your health, especially if you're over 60. Just picture this. A papaya sitting on your kitchen counter. If you slice it open and eat it without washing the skin first, bacteria from the surface can easily hitch a ride on your knife and slip into the flesh. If you believe the more the better, too much fiber and enzyme can leave your stomach unsettled for the entire day. If you're taking blood thinners or heart medications and don't pay attention, papaya may quietly interfere with how your medicine works. And if you happen to eat an unripe papaya, the natural compounds inside can trigger stomach cramps, or worse, pose risks for pregnant women. The important thing to realize is that most of these mistakes come from simple oversight. We've been taught to think that fruit is always healthy, the more natural the better, so few people watch out for the small but real dangers. And it's exactly this lack of caution that leads many to unnecessary troubles. From diarrhea and gastritis to more serious complications like blood clots or intestinal infections. The good news is you can absolutely protect yourself. By understanding the 7 common mistakes many Americans over 60 make when eating papaya, you'll learn how to enjoy all the benefits of this fruit without turning it into a burden on your health. In today's video, we'll uncover 7 hidden health traps behind papaya. Some mistakes may sound harmless at first, but they can quietly affect your heart, digestion, and even your longevity. And mistake number 2 will definitely surprise many because it's directly tied to the medications millions of Americans over 60 take every single day. So, are you eating papaya in a safe and smart way? Stay with me, and you may forever change the way you look at this familiar fruit. First, overlooking Papain allergy and the Latex-Fruit syndrome. When people think of food allergies, most immediately picture seafood, peanuts, or cow's milk. Few would suspect that papaya, a fruit often praised for being healthy, can also trigger allergic reactions in certain individuals. The main culprit is papain, a natural enzyme found abundantly in papaya. Papain is well known for aiding digestion and is even used in meat tenderizers. But for some people, this very enzyme can turn into a troublemaker. Allergic reactions to papain can look very different from person to person. Some may only feel a tingling itch in the mouth or throat, with slight swelling of the lips or tongue. Others may experience more serious responses: hives, stomach pain, vomiting, or even difficulty breathing. The most dangerous of all is anaphylaxis, a sudden drop in blood pressure and severe shortness of breath that can be life-threatening without immediate medical care. While these severe reactions are rare, they're serious enough that anyone over 60 should take them seriously. Another important point is the link between papaya allergy and what's called the latex-fruit syndrome. Research shows that people allergic to natural rubber latex are often more likely to react to certain fruits, including papaya. The reason is that proteins in latex share a similar structure with proteins in papaya, causing the immune system to get confused and attack, even if you've only eaten a few small bites. For those who have reacted to latex gloves, balloons, or other latex products, the risk is even higher. So how can you recognize it? If after eating papaya you notice tingling in your mouth, swelling of the tongue, rashes, or unusual stomach pain, stop eating it right away. With mild symptoms, you can monitor and schedule an appointment with an allergist for testing, such as a skin prick or blood test. If you've ever experienced a severe reaction, your doctor may recommend carrying an epinephrine auto-injector to protect yourself from life-threatening anaphylaxis. The key is not to dismiss those early warning signs. Many people assume that a little throat itch or mild stomach upset after eating fruit is no big deal, but in reality, allergic reactions can escalate faster than you think. For those over 60 with overall health and immune defenses already lower, spotting the signs early and responding quickly is even more critical. Second, interactions between papaya and medications. Papaya is well known as a nutrient-rich fruit, providing vitamin C, folate, fiber, and the digestive enzyme papain. However, few realize that these very nutrients can sometimes interfere with the medications you're taking. This can be especially dangerous for people over 60, a group that often relies on daily prescriptions to manage blood pressure, heart disease, or diabetes. One of the biggest concerns is papaya's effect on blood-thinning medications, such as warfarin. While many people assume vitamin K only comes from leafy greens, the truth is that papaya also contains this vitamin. Any change in your vitamin K intake, whether more or less, can disrupt the effectiveness of blood thinners, making your blood either too thin, raising the risk of bleeding, or too thick, raising the risk of clot formation. For those taking anticoagulants, eating papaya inconsistently, some days a lot, other days none, can unintentionally upset the delicate balance of blood clot management. It doesn't stop there. Papain, the enzyme in papaya, can also amplify the effects of certain medications. For example, when combined with blood thinners or anti-inflammatory drugs, papain may intensify their action, raising the risk of internal bleeding, unusual bruising, or digestive issues. On the other hand, for medications that require slow absorption, papaya's mild laxative effect may cause the drug to pass through too quickly, reducing its effectiveness. Think of it this way. Your medication is like a bridge that keeps your body stable. Papaya, even though it's healthy, can sometimes make that bridge shake. And for those over 60 with more sensitive bodies, that shaking can lead to unpredictable and potentially serious consequences. So how can you enjoy the benefits of papaya while avoiding risks if you're on medication? The answer lies in moderation and consistency. If you eat papaya regularly, try to keep your portions steady each day or each week and avoid sudden changes. Just as important, let your doctor or pharmacist know that papaya is part of your diet. They can adjust your dosage or guide you on how to safely combine your medication with this fruit. Some experts also recommend leaving at least a 2 to 4 hour gap between taking your medicine and eating papaya to minimize the chance of interactions. This is especially helpful for those on heart medications, blood pressure drugs, or diabetes treatments. Third, eating too much papaya under the belief that the more, the better. One of the most common misconceptions about food is that if a little is good for you, then a lot must be even better. Papaya is often placed in the superfruit category because it's rich in vitamins, minerals, and digestive enzymes. But the truth is, eating too much papaya can backfire, especially for those over 60. Let's start with its high fiber content. Fiber is generally excellent for digestion, helping bowel movements stay regular and preventing constipation. However, when the body receives too much fiber in a short period of time, the digestive system can become overloaded. The result? Bloating, stomach cramps, gas, and diarrhea. For younger people, these issues may pass quickly, but for older adults, whose digestive systems are often more delicate, this can lead to fatigue, dehydration, and even worsening of existing digestive conditions. Beyond fiber, the enzyme papain in papaya is also a double-edged sword. In moderate amounts, papain helps break down protein, making digestion easier. But when consumed in excess, papain can overstimulate the stomach lining, leading to acid reflux, heartburn, or even mild gastritis. This explains why some people feel burning in the chest or discomfort in the upper abdomen after eating too much papaya. Another lesser-known side effect is keratonemia, a yellowish discoloration of the skin, often noticeable on the palms, soles, or face. Papaya is rich in beta-carotene, the pigment that gives the fruit its orange hue. When eaten in large amounts, beta-carotene can build up in the bloodstream and cause the skin to turn yellow. While this condition is not harmful and usually resolves once intake is reduced, for older adults, A sudden change in skin color can be alarming and easily mistaken for liver or gallbladder disease. It's also important to remember that while papaya is full of nutrients, it is not a cure-all. Some people believe that eating large amounts of papaya can prevent or even cure disease. This belief is dangerous because it can lead us to ignore the importance of a balanced diet and proper medical treatment. So how much papaya is just right? Nutrition experts recommend about 1 cup, roughly 150-170 grams, of cubed papaya per day for adults, enough to enjoy the benefits without worrying about side effects. If you notice stomach discomfort, bloating, or frequent bowel movements after eating, that's your body's way of telling you it's time to cut back. Fourth, eating unripe or green papaya. Unlike the sweet, soft, and pleasant slices of ripe papaya, green papaya shows a very different face. Hard, astringent, and packed with compounds that can easily irritate the body if eaten the wrong way. In many Asian cuisines, green papaya is used in salads or savory dishes, but the key difference is that it's usually cooked thoroughly. When eaten raw or before it's fully ripe, papaya can turn into a real troublemaker for the digestive system, especially in older adults. The main reason lies in the high levels of papain and latex found in unripe papaya. Papain is a protein-digesting enzyme that can be helpful in the right amounts. But in green papaya, papain exists at much higher concentrations than in ripe fruit, and instead of helping, it often becomes an irritant. For those with sensitive stomachs, too much papain can cause nausea, acid reflux, and even diarrhea. Many people who try raw green papaya salad for the first time experience burning or churning in the stomach. That's the direct effect of excess papain. Beyond papain, the white sap, latex in green papaya, is another major concern. Latex has contracting properties, which makes it especially dangerous for pregnant women. Medical studies show that eating raw green papaya during early pregnancy can stimulate uterine contractions, raising the risk of miscarriage or preterm birth. For this reason, many doctors strongly advise expectant mothers to avoid green papaya altogether, especially in raw or partially ripe form. For adults over 60, eating green papaya carries other drawbacks. The digestive system slows down with age, and the stomach lining becomes thinner, making it more vulnerable to irritation and inflammation from strong enzymes like papain in high concentrations. The result can be indigestion, bloating, or painful cramping, issues that can significantly reduce daily comfort and quality of life. So how can you tell if a papaya is safely ripe to eat? It's simple. It's just look and feel. A ripe papaya has a uniform golden orange skin, yields slightly when pressed, and gives off a gentle, sweet fragrance. The flesh inside is soft, deep orange to reddish orange, and can be scooped out easily with a spoon. By contrast, if the skin is still green and firm, with little to no aroma, or if the flesh inside looks pale, that's a sign the fruit is still unripe. Leave it at room temperature for a few more days until it reaches perfect ripeness before enjoying it. Fifth, throwing away papaya seeds, missing out on both benefits and risks. When cutting open a ripe papaya, most people do the same thing. Scoop out the shiny black seeds and toss them in the trash. To many, these seeds are nothing more than waste in the meal. Yet few realize that these tiny seeds actually carry both potential benefits and risks, and ignoring them can sometimes be a mistake. Let's start with the positives. Papaya seeds are surprisingly nutrient-rich. They contain healthy fats, fiber, plant-based protein, and important minerals like calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium. The seeds also hold the same papain enzyme found in the flesh, which can aid digestion and ease bloating. Some studies have even suggested that extracts from papaya seeds have antibacterial and antiparasitic properties, offering protection against harmful invaders such as E. coli and salmonella. Papaya seeds also have a distinctive taste, slightly peppery and sharp, reminiscent of black pepper. Because of this, some people even grind the seeds to use as a seasoning substitute in salads or smoothies. In small amounts, papaya seeds can be an interesting addition to the diet, offering both nutrition and digestive support. However, this is where the double-edged sword comes in. Along with their benefits, papaya seeds also contain strong compounds such as benzyl isothiocyanate and carpine. In large amounts, these substances can be toxic to the liver and kidneys, placing extra strain on the body. Some animal studies have even suggested that heavy consumption of papaya seeds may affect fertility. For this reason, pregnant women, those planning to conceive, and anyone with liver or kidney conditions should exercise particular caution. For adults over 60, with more sensitive digestion and liver-kidney function, eating too many papaya seeds can trigger unwanted reactions: nausea, stomach pain, or even digestive upset. This reinforces a simple rule: eat in moderation, never in excess. So what counts as just enough? Experts suggest about 1 teaspoon of papaya seeds per day, ideally ground and sprinkled over a salad or blended into a smoothie. This amount is considered safe for most healthy individuals, allowing you to enjoy the benefits while avoiding the risks. Sixth, storing papaya the wrong way. If not handled properly, this nutritious fruit can turn into a hidden hazard. This is a mistake many people make, especially older adults, when they leave papaya sitting out on the counter or keep it in the fridge for far too long without noticing. Papaya is a fruit rich in both sugar and water, which makes it highly vulnerable to bacteria and mold. If the fruit is still unripe, it's best to leave it at room temperature until the skin turns golden orange, gives off a gentle fragrance, and yields slightly to pressure. That's when the papaya reaches its peak sweetness and is easiest to digest. But if you leave it sitting out for too long, the fruit can spoil, ferment, or attract fruit flies, and at that point, it's no longer safe to eat. A common mistake is failing to refrigerate papaya once it's ripe. A ripe papaya can sit at room temperature for about a day, but if you want to keep it longer, you should place it in the refrigerator right away. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, ripe papaya should only be stored in the fridge for 5 to 7 days. Beyond that, its quality and flavor begin to decline, while the risk of bacterial growth increases significantly. The mistake becomes even more serious if you cut the papaya and leave it uncovered. Once sliced, papaya left out in the open for more than 2 hours, especially in warm conditions, can quickly turn into a breeding ground for bacteria like Salmonella or Listeria. These are common causes of food poisoning and can lead to diarrhea, vomiting, dehydration, and even hospitalization in older adults. That's why cut papaya should always be stored in an airtight container in the refrigerator and eaten within 2 to 3 days. One small but important detail: papaya easily absorbs odors. If you store it next to strong-smelling foods like onions, garlic, or seafood, the fruit can take on an unpleasant taste. To preserve its natural flavor, keep it in an airtight container or wrap it well with plastic wrap. Also, avoid exposing papaya to direct sunlight or high heat. This speeds up spoilage and causes valuable nutrients to break down. For those over 60, the immune system is often weaker, making it harder to fight off harmful bacteria. A small mistake in storage can lead to serious health consequences. Don't let this healthy fruit become a hidden danger just because of carelessness. And finally, failing to wash the skin before cutting papaya. Many people think washing isn't necessary since they don't eat the peel. In reality, this is one of the mistakes that can carry significant health risks, especially for older adults. During growing, harvesting, and transport, the surface of papayas can come into contact with soil, fertilizers, pesticides, dust, and even harmful bacteria from the environment. A study from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, reported several outbreaks of foodborne illness directly linked to papayas contaminated with salmonella. These bacteria usually remain on the skin, and if the fruit isn't washed properly, they can easily transfer from the peel to the flesh through the knife as you cut it. Imagine placing an unwashed papaya on the cutting board and slicing it open. The knife instantly becomes a bridge, carrying bacteria from the peel straight into the flesh, the very part you assume is completely safe. From there, the risk of food poisoning begins. For younger people, the body may sometimes fight it off with little trouble. But for older adults with weaker immune defenses, the consequences can be far more severe: diarrhea, dehydration, and in some cases, hospitalization. It's not just bacteria. Pesticide residues can also remain on the skin of papayas. While these chemicals may be present in small amounts, over time they can build up in the body, potentially disrupting hormones or increasing the risk of chronic illness. That's why washing the peel isn't just about removing dirt. It also helps reduce leftover chemicals and makes the fruit safer to eat. So how should you wash it properly? It's simple. Hold the papaya under running water and gently rub it with your hands or use a soft bristled brush to clean the surface. There's no need for soap or detergents. Clean water and a little friction are enough to remove most bacteria and chemical residues. After washing, be sure to dry the fruit with a clean towel before cutting to prevent dirty water from dripping onto the flesh. You might feel that washing the skin only takes an extra minute or two, but the benefits are enormous. It greatly reduces the risk of foodborne illness and helps protect the health of both you and your family. For those over 60, when every meal is not just about nutrition, but also about safety, a small habit like rinsing the skin before cutting can make a very big difference. So we've now covered 7 common mistakes people make when eating papaya, a fruit that seems perfectly healthy but can cause real trouble if used the wrong way. Each of these missteps has the potential to turn a nutritious fruit into a health risk, especially for those over 60. The most important takeaway is that papaya is still a wonderful fruit, but only when you eat it safely and wisely. Moderation in portion size, choosing naturally ripe fruit, storing it properly, and paying attention to your own health conditions are the keys to unlocking all of papaya's benefits. Remember, after 60, good health doesn't just come from choosing the right foods. It also comes from how you prepare and enjoy them every single day. Just think about it. Simply by washing the fruit before cutting, storing leftovers properly in the fridge, and keeping your portions reasonable, you can greatly reduce the risks of bacterial infection, digestive upset, or unwanted side effects. These small actions, repeated every day, become a shield that protects you from unnecessary health problems. And now I'd like to hear from you. Out of the 7 mistakes we just discussed, have you ever made any of them yourself? How often do you eat papaya each week? And how do you usually prepare it? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might just help other viewers watching right now. If you found today's video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button so I know this content resonated with you. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so every week you'll receive practical, easy-to-apply health insights, especially designed for those over 60 living in the US. And if you have family or friends who regularly eat papaya, share this video with them. Because sometimes one small piece of information can help someone avoid a major health issue. I'll see you again in the next video, where we'll continue exploring simple nutrition and lifestyle secrets that can make a big difference in your later years. Wishing you good health, confidence, and the joy of every moment on your journey after 60.